Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, live from Harlem in New York City. It's me, it's Alex, and it's the Ramble. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we go out to the other coast of the United States, the one that is to the left, I believe, on a map. It's called California, and then you go northward, and you, in the middle of that state, find San Francisco, and in the middle of San Francisco, you find Larry Bubbles Brown. How was that introduction, Larry?
That was very good, yes. You pinpointed my location.
Yes, we don't have an address on you, but we can supply that to anybody that wants it and wants to come knock on your door and bother you.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing?
Good. I've been waiting to. I wish I kind of had a flip phone because I want to do something techie. I want to take a ride in the driverless cab.
Oh, you know something? We saw that on Sunday on CBS Sunday Morning. They had a whole thing on it, the Waymo, right?
Waymo, yeah.
Yeah, and they said they have it in San Francisco, and I told Marjorie, if we get out to San Francisco, first thing we got to do is take a Waymo and see if we don't go crazy and, go crazy with no driver in the front seat. But I hear they're good.
Yeah, they're all over here. They've been going for months now, and they haven't killed anyone yet.
How expensive are they to use, however?
I heard they're cheaper than a cab right now. I don't know how much, but I would. That actually, people that take it tell me they love it because they don't have to make small talk with a driver.
Well, that's one thing. They should have a thing in there where they can have a AI recorded voice if you want a driver to talk to you.
Well, they need also a kill switch in case you wanted to get out early, I think, too.
I think there's probably something in there where you can say, stop, I want to get out.
There should be, yeah.
But I would take a long drive. I mean, I'd have it pick me up at the airport. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then take me to your place, or maybe out to Marin County. It would go there, wouldn't it?
They don't go out of the city.
Oh, they don't leave the city.
They're being tested in here, L.A., and Phoenix, I think.
Yeah, but why won't they leave the city? I mean, there's the Bay Area. You might want to go to Oakland. You might want to go to Berkeley.
I think they had to get permission just to do it within the city. So.
Oh, boy. Oh. These driverless cars are pretty accurate. I would say I'm sure they have accidents. I'm sure people plow into them. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm sure they have accidents. But what's the ratio of accidents to driving as opposed to a regular driver in their car?
Yeah, the one thing, someone that took it a ride, and I've noticed it myself as a pedestrian, they're very, she said they went kind of slow. They're almost too careful.
Well,
if you step off the curb, a Waymo on the street will just stop, not to run over you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so we want to take one of those. And I asked Marjorie if she would do it, and she went, "Oh, absolutely. I'd do it in a second." So I went, "Okay, well, then we'll do it when we go to San Francisco."
You got to get out here.
We'll take it out to see Larry.
Yeah.
But it's really it's a good deal. It's a good deal. I think they're also Tesla, it has a driverless car function, and supposedly they're pretty good. They haven't had that many problems associated with them. I've seen things they have on YouTube, something you got used to for a while, and that's why you got rid of the internet. They have some things where they have Teslas driving driverless. And a couple of them are in San Francisco, so I know the streets, okay? And, man, that thing was perfect. It come to a stop sign, it stopped. You know, somebody walked out in front, they immediately stopped. I mean, it was really good. And I said to myself, you know, if I ever got a car, I would want to get a driverless car because I can't drive anymore.
Well, I think some of the tests is like if your car is parked and you go to a restaurant, when you come out of the restaurant, you can just click your key and it'll drive over for you.
Oh, they do have that now. They do have that now with a lot of cars, not just Teslas, that you can tell it, come visit me in front of the restaurant, and the car pulls out of its wherever it's parked and drives in front of the restaurant. So, you know, so that you're willing to get into tech that far?
Yes,
huh?
I would. And the only problem they've had here they had problems when there's like a fire engine, a big fire or something, and they freak out and they just stop when they see these flashing red lights for some reason.
Well, supposedly, and here was a real problem. They all go back to a single parking lot, right?
Yeah.
When they're through. And so at night, they all assemble in this one parking lot, and one night, one of them started honking his horn, and all the rest started honking their horn, and woke up the whole neighborhood because there were like, you know,
yeah,
50,
I heard about. Okay, yeah.
50 of these Waymos. But that's the biggest problem I've heard that they've had, you know. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. So how's everything with Larry Bubbles Brown? I want to know just everything I can find out.
My life is so boring, you don't want to hear about it. So.
Well, I do because I need to sleep.
Okay, I had a painfully long gig in, I had to drive up this weekend to Redding.
Redding, which is north of San Francisco.
I didn't know how far north it was, like 250 miles.
Is
it was like
it
95
that far?
degrees. Yeah. So.
Did you make enough money to pay for gas?
Oh, yeah. It was with Felipe, so it was a good gig.
Oh, Felipe Esparza.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy, the whitest guy in America, right?
I'm the only white guy in the... There actually were some white people at the show this time.
Yeah. But you, as the whitest person in America, you open for a Hispanic act, right?
Yeah.
Although, what's his name? Lopez. I'm trying to remember. What was his first name?
George Lopez.
George Lopez. The once I said Hispanic, and he said, "Don't say that." And I said, "Why?" He said, "There is no such place as Hispaniola. We are either Mexican, or we're Latin, or we're Spanish, you know, but we're not Hispanic."
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway. You might ask Esparza the next time you work with him how he feels about that. No, really, I'm serious. Because George Lopez made a big deal out of it. He just, you know, you don't call me Hispanic. I'm not Hispanic. You know, so. But anyway, does he do his act in Spanish or does he do it in English when he goes to Reading?
He's done 4 Netflix specials, and one of them he did in Spanish.
Yeah, but when he works with you, is he working in Spanish?
It's English, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because probably if it were all Spanish audience, they wouldn't understand a word you say. Not that that isn't the case with white audiences.
No.
So.
Well, he said if I could learn Spanish, he thinks I'd do very well in Mexico.
Really?
Yes, he said you'd be huge there, bro.
I think it's wonderful that you have these comedians who think so much of you that when they come to San Francisco, they say, "Get me Larry Bubbles Brown."
That is nice, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you opened for Dana Carvey.
Dana,
right?
Rob Schneider, Felipe, and I think I worked more with anyone was Norm Macdonald.
Really?
Norm was great. He was so nice to me.
What a funny guy.
Yeah.
It's a shame we lost him. His sense of humor is needed in this day and age.
He was great and a very odd person, but
What kind of a guy was he? I mean, you deal with him on a personal level.
well, he needed a Waymo because he didn't drive a car,
Yeah.
and he would. I think it's called special SPAT kind of problems where, like, when he was working at Cobb's, the hotel was 4 blocks away, a straight line, and he could not find it by himself. He needed someone to walk him back.
Did you say maybe spatial is the word you're looking for?
Yeah, they call it spatial difficulty.
Wow. Didn't know that. He had a lot of problems, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe he's a genius. I don't know.
And then he got the cancer. And I don't think he told anybody.
Didn't tell anybody. He told one person. His let's see, the guy that manages Dana, Mark Gervitz.
Yeah.
So he was the only one that knew, and then afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, towards the end, people knew, didn't they?
No, not at all.
Really? Just one day he died, and they said he had it for like 10 years?
10 years, and because I was trying to get hold of him for the last year, and he always called me back. I didn't hear from him, so I thought something's up.
Yeah. I mean, he was a very respected comic. I don't know that I really got into him till after he was dead, and I just saw his body of work and went, "This is some brilliant stuff."
I had so many TV appearances in Saturday Night Live, and that thing he did. He was just relentless on OJ. Saturday Night Live.
Well, that was the thing that got him fired from the newscast, at least, because the best, what's his name, the head of NBC or something, was a good friend of OJ's, and he didn't like all the ribbing of OJ.
Right.
Which is, to me, if you run a network, that's fine, but you don't tell people, especially in something like a comic news segment, what to say.
Yeah, Norm did the typical comic response. You tell a comic not to do something, he's going to do it.
Well, I mean, the fact is that, there's no comedy in a woman getting killed like she got killed, but there is comedy in OJ. Mm-hmm. Because he would say, I'm going out, I'm going to find the killers, so you make a joke always about it. Oh, he was out last night looking for the killers, things like that. I mean, some people are not joke proof. They create a situation where people have to laugh at it. I mean, is Trump funny or isn't he funny?
That's funny, right?
Yeah, something? It's getting to the point where I don't find it funny. You know how some people do something, you say, that's funny, but then it hurts people? And so you go, well, that's not funny. And that's what it is with Trump. I mean, we were just watching him on the news, and he was saying some stuff, and Marjorie said to me, this guy is just stupid. I mean, would you agree with her that he is stupid?
I don't think the thing he rambles, which is I find annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, he rambles and he says things in a way that that just he's an idiot. He's a moron. He's stupid. And he is using his position to make himself wealthy because he had lost all his money. He was down to under, I hate to say this, he was down to under $1 billion. And he needed to get more money back. And he has used his presidency to do that. And when we're recording this thing, he's in Saudi Arabia making deals with the Saudis. And then he's got a plane given to him by Qatar, and it just reeks with him only trying to ingratiate himself and get rich. Okay, so anyway, I don't know if I find that funny anymore. It was funny. I think the first term was kind of funny, but how much money have you lost?
I didn't have any to begin with.
Oh, okay. So you don't have any
Yeah.
money in stocks.
No.
But God, I mean, it was horrible. It was just horrible. I mean, I lost. I don't know. Maybe I lost $50,000. I don't know. And some of it's coming back.
I think it's come back. Yeah.
It's coming back a little bit. Not, it hasn't come back to where it was. So, it's not. That's not funny. I'm not going to laugh about that. Luckily, I am old and I probably won't live to use all my money. So if that's the case, fine. I don't care what happens. But
you don't want to leave a lot of money.
you don't want to leave a lot of money, although we're planning on leaving it to somebody. We're planning on leaving it to, or we're leaving it all to you, Larry. But only on the condition that you buy a
Smartphone.
a smartphone. Yes.
Then I'll take a Waymo ride.
then you
Life
can-
will be sweet.
Yeah, you can have all our money if you do that. But no, we were thinking of, oddly enough, St. Jude's Hospital. I like them. And I like them because, when you get ads and stuff about kids who've got some kind of disease or whatever, they show all these pathetic kids with tubes up their noses and so on and looking pathetic. And I feel that's using them. In their ads, if anybody looks pathetic or depressed, it's the parents. But the kids are always happy.
Yeah.
And I like the way they do their advertising. They're not trying to appeal to you on that kind of, oh, will you help this poor, sick kid? And I like the way they do it. And also, I've checked the hospital out. They do good work. You got a kid who's got cancer, you go down there, you see them, if they take you in, they not only take you in, but they get you a place to live while your kid's at the hospital. So, it's really it's a great organization. And so we decided we want to leave all our money to them. But then again, I may leave it a little bit to a few other people too. But first I got to die. That's not a good idea.
Well, speaking of which, Norm and when he died, remember he died really close to Bob Saget and Gilbert.
Yes.
Which was depressing because they were all younger than me.
Well, I didn't know that Gilbert had anything. And all of a sudden, one day, Gilbert Gottfried is dead. And it's from an illness that he's had for a while. But I never knew about it. I went to parties with him. I'd sit there and talk with him for hours. And he never said he had any condition that was a problem,
And Norm kept it under the vest.
Yeah. And Saget, we don't know what happened to Saget exactly.
No, that was very strange.
He was in a hotel room, and the next thing you know, what happened? He just found dead in the hospital, in the hotel room?
He fractured his skull. They theorized that he he got up in the middle of the night and fell in the bathroom on a marble floor and hit his head. Then he came to and went back to bed and then died while he went to sleep.
Because he had really, truly injured his brain.
But I remember the autopsy, the doctor said the damage to his skull was akin to falling from a 2-story building. So.
Wow. Well, you know what I have a great fear of? Because at my age, I get lightheaded, okay? If I get up out of bed too fast, I get lightheaded, I'll get finished here and I'll get out of the chair and I'll have to, kind of relax for a few minutes so that I don't get too wobbly. And I have a great fear of falling anywhere in this apartment. It depends on what you're going to hit. Do you remember remember William Holden?
Yeah.
And he died from either tripping or passing out or whatever and hitting his head on the corner of a glass coffee table
And bled to death.
and bled to death, and he died from that. We of course started wanting to put out a new kind of gift you could give for Christmas, which is a William Holden drinking helmet.
Well, his Pearl's bit, don't drink and walk.
Don't drink and walk. No, but I mean, like, I get really wobbly, and I think, oh boy, I could fall, and that's fine, but I could then hit my head on something. Like one time, I hit my head on the sink in the bathroom. Yeah, but it didn't do anything. I guess I got a really hard head or something like that. But then I went down to the emergency room in the hospital. I got to go in an ambulance, but they didn't turn on the siren, and they weren't going that fast. And I went, you go fast all the time. You go fast coming to pick me up because you're fighting with all other ambulances to get the business, and now you can't even do the siren when we're going to the hospital. I hear them all the time in the middle of the night here. They wake me up. You can't do it for me. But anyway, they didn't. And I spent a day in the emergency room, and they did every test known to mankind and found out everything that was wrong with me. And I did have problems that later proved to be true. I mean, they found some enlarged lymph nodes and things like that, and it all added up to the thing that I have now, which is leukemia, CLL, which is chronic lymphatic leukemia. And by the way, so far I have no symptoms, so I'm fine. So, I may never. You'll die with it, not from it. So,
Right.
And then I had the what do you call it, prostate cancer, and I'm going on my 5th year in January. So when that happens, I guess I'm out of the woods. So. What the hell? I never got anything that was going to kill me.
Well, how much does an ambulance ride cost now? They used to be a fortune.
I have no idea. Medicare took care of it.
Wow.
Yeah. And the supplemental that we pay for. So we never even look at the bills anymore. It doesn't matter. I can look at the bills when I can go on to Medicare and go find out how much something costs and whatever. And I'm kind of sad for doctors when I look at it because it says, like $1,000 for this. And then they say, and Medicare will pay you 50 cents, And I don't see how doctors make money anymore, especially off of old people. There's some doctors who won't take Medicare. Medicare pretty much says this is what it's worth. And they're right in most cases. And so what happens is the doctors overcharge, hoping that by overcharging it'll bump them up just a little bit from what they would get if they just gave a lower price, So, wait, you have? How old are you now?
I got Medicare.
You got Medicare. It's good, right?
Yeah.
So, by the way, when are you going to get the hernia taken care of?
They actually have called me and said we might have a couple of dates coming up. So.
Oh, good. That's usually you like to hear that from your agent, but we have a few dates coming up. But so you're going to go get it taken care of. Is it still bother you?
I think I have to. Yeah, it's not getting better. So.
Well, I still have mine, but it pops back in my, whatever. So it doesn't hurt either. So I'm fine.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, I'm not going to worry about it because at my age, I really don't want that kind of operation. Marjorie should do something about a knee that's in real trouble, and a few other body parts, but she doesn't want to do it either because every time at our age we go into an operating room, there's always a risk we're not going to come out alive from that operating room.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't get this taken care of.
Well, if it's hurting you and it's giving you great anguish and pain, then I would say do it. Okay? But if it doesn't hurt, then don't do it. That's the theory. But what is it? Albert Reynoso was my producer here in New York. He used to say, if it isn't bleeding something else, then don't worry about it.
He's probably right.
Yeah, I mean, they would like to. Doctors would love to do something about it, right? More money for them, but what the hell? You can't even trust doctors anymore. Hey, listen, we've run out of time here, Larry Bubbles Brown.
That was quick.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, it was fun.
Okay, and we'll do it again next week. Thank you, Larry.
See you next week.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And there he was. Let me turn on my lights here. There we go. Okay. I'm a little bit better there. Let me see here. Got all the things going here. Yeah, there we go. And I'm trying to adjust this. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, I can't get anything working anymore, but that's the way things are, folks. Well, there are a couple of people waiting to come on. I didn't do a show last night, and the reason I didn't do a show last night is because on Wednesday we didn't have much of a audience calling in. Just just me and 4 other people, and I'm getting a little tired with how low the amount is. So I decided not to do a show last night rather than get disappointed. And tonight it looks like I'm going to be disappointed again. And I'm just getting to the point where I'm beginning to say I've got to rethink this whole thing because it's not working anymore. And, I mean, if I were getting, I used to get at least 10, 11 people waiting to go on the show, and that's not the case anymore. So I'm beginning to wonder whether it's all worth it. It's worth my time and effort and whatever, and that maybe I can think of some other way to do this. And I don't know. Anyway, and then I can't get anything to work here. I have all kinds of problems getting things to work. So that's, it's starting to get me a little, how can I put it, PDO'd or whatever. Well, there are quite a few people now waiting to come on, so let's let them all come on and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Let's see here. There we go. There's Charlie, and there is Richard Braun. Richard,
do I need to turn it like this?
Yeah, turn it that way. Oh, hello there, Adrian. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How are you doing?
Good.
Where's your dad?
Oh,
No, he likes that picture.
Yeah.
He likes that picture.
Actually,
We're gonna steal that picture when we leave. Yes.
you-
Steal the picture and we're gonna send it to Alex.
she just, she's getting older, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. And she's dancing in the background because she's got to show off for the world,
Yeah.
which we approve of entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you?
2,000 pieces there, Brian?
Yeah.
What?
So you know what? So you know what happened. So go ahead. Go. No, go.
I'm gonna help you.
No. Now she wants to help. So, Alex, when you have a daughter and you find we're at the store, we're at Target, and she says, "Wow, Daddy, let's." I say, "Oh, should we do a puzzle?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'd love to do a puzzle with you." I said, "Oh my God!" Like a little tear. A tear came out of my eye because I was like, "Oh my God, my daughter wants to do a puzzle with me." Yeah, and guess who's doing the puzzle?
And you bought the puzzle, right?
Yes, and she's been over there on her iPad. No, she helped a little bit, but now she wants to help, so that's good.
Okay.
So we're doing a puzzle.
Wait a
Oh
minute.
my
Now,
God.
let me ask you this question: how many
Yes.
pieces is that?
This one's 1,000.
I wanted to do 2,000 though.
No, we did the 1,000. We laid them all out, and I said, "Oh, we should have picked 500."
Have
I'm
you
as tall as him.
have you done these before, Adrian,
Look,
with him?
I'm almost as tall as him.
No.
He asked you, have we done these before?
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, we haven't done
so
them together.
I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you now, and you have to take my word for it, Adrian. There's nothing more boring than jigsaw puzzles.
That's why she was on her iPad. She said, I'm bored. So,
Is there anybody on this group of people that really likes jigsaw puzzles?
Oh yeah.
yeah, I like them
Really?
just as a,
Me too.
I was watching some basketball and doing it and, just relaxing.
Oh, if
Jigsaw
it's a 30-piece jigsaw puzzle, I'll do it.
No,
You know.
This is so easy.
no.
Adrian,
This.
Adrian, tell them you want to do Legos.
No, we have tons of Legos. That era. Yes, we do.
That's what I build.
Oh, what are you doing?
Build Lego cars.
We need a terrible
Oh,
thing.
Lego cars. Yeah. No, actually, the McLaren one I have, she would be mad if I did it by myself. Yeah, she wants to help with that.
Really?
But I don't want her addicted. I don't want her addicted to somebody else on this panel.
That's my therapy.
The
Yes.
therapy of
Actually,
Legos?
it's very relaxing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you step on them? They hurt.
No, you don't step on them because then you lose peace and then you're screwed.
Oh my God.
Stop.
I love myself.
So I need to get rid of her. Hold on.
Wait a minute, get rid of her? What do you mean by that exactly?
Illegal.
Yeah. Go in the other room. Yes. Wait a minute. You're in a hotel room. Where are you going to tell her to go? What's that? Hold on a second. Let me see. Brian, what you trying to show us? Go ahead. Show it to us.
Oh God.
Doritos Flames. Are they hot?
Yeah.
Really hot?
They like the Takis too.
Yeah, she loves Takis, but
Can't you tell how red Kevin is?
trying to get her off of the Takis because those are the ones that you can light on fire and you can just sit there like a candle because there's so much oil and everything. Okay, bye. Entertainment. Entertainment time is over.
Wait a minute. When you say bye-bye, you're in
There's a dog.
you're in a hotel room. Where are you sending her?
I'm sending her 10 feet away from me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The other couch.
The other
Yeah.
couch.
I'm going to ground you. You're grounded into the bedroom.
You're grounded. Yeah, right. Hey, Adrian, go to your room.
Go to the room. I have good news, though. I have good news.
What?
So I don't know if I told you guys last time. So actually, I got a job at the company I've been consulting for. So that was all done. So finally, now I can have a W-2. So then I got my loan. And then I made an offer on the townhouse that I've been trying to get, and I got the offer approved. They accepted the offer last night. So June 9th, I'll be in the new house.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Wow.
And
And
how's
your
it?
company will probably want to move you to Stockton next week.
No, not this company. This company's staying. They already had the option to move, and they're not taking it. So they're smart right now.
They're nice company? Good company?
Yeah, it's a Visby. They do. So what they do is the same type of thing we do, like PCR testing for infectious disease, like and sexual health disease. So they have a small little compact thing, and you just plug it in, and you take the sample, put it in there, and it has like 3 different diseases at a time that it can tell if you're positive for one of them. So we just got clearance for over the shelf, over the counter. So we're getting over the counter now, and we got So things are actually really moving with this company. So I'm real happy.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm in charge. I'm a director for continuous improvement. So it's really good because they were running so fast during COVID. And now they have this little window now since respiratory is not that big, but sexual health still is. So I'm coming in there to help clean up a lot of stuff that they caused during COVID time. So,
So let me ask you this. Why did you leave the other place? Because they were moving you or something?
yeah, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to stay in Lathrop.
Yeah.
I could have stayed in Lathrop and stayed at Cepheid, but I miss her too much. So
What a good dad.
And you'll never get this time again with her.
yeah.
That's right.
Adrian, do you appreciate that?
No, please don't bother her, please.
She will know someday the importance of a father
Yeah. Yeah.
Deciding where their job is going to be
He
based.
said, "Do you appreciate me moving back to San Jose for you?" Yes, she says yes.
Okay, right.
She knows. She knows. And I could tell lately that, and I could, okay, go back to your grounded thing. So, and I could tell lately, things have changed a lot lately about how I can tell how she misses me. So it's good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So you'll have a place and you'll have a room for her, and
Yeah, and it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's in Almaden Valley, right near her school, so it's in a really good area. And the house is it's just been sitting there because it has carpet, so it needs new floors, it needs new kitchen, all these new things. So I'm happy to be going through the house. So then it'll be like mine. So yeah, so it'll be fun.
Yeah,
Bill
no.
Meyer could use some extra work.
Oh yeah, have him come down. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get the house.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
He
thanks.
was close yesterday.
Hmm?
He was close. I took him to sushi yesterday in Fremont.
Mm.
Bill Meyer.
You took him, who?
Bill Meyer.
You took Phil Meyer?
Yeah, he came down, and normally when I go up there, he buys, and he's generous. And
Well, you should just go up there and let him buy all the time, for crying out loud.
yeah, well, in my vehicle, it costs almost as much as gas as it does for a steak at Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
So, no, he drove down, and I took him to the fancy sushi restaurant. Cost $150, and it was well worth it for the two of us.
Yeah. So, and hello to Richard Braun. How are you, Richard?
Fine. I'm tired though. We're in Portugal now.
Oh, you
wow.
are. You were going to Portugal, yes.
Right. We spent 3 days in Lisbon and 3 days in Sintra, which is massively hilly. Both of them are massively hilly. Now we're in Porto for 5 days, and we're touring by car.
Really? Ooh. Oh, okay. That's cool. Marjorie and I have thought about going to Portugal and actually looking for a place to live there. And when I see how good the signal is from Portugal, you'd never be able to tell I left the country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So that's amazing. Yeah.
I didn't buy a card or anything. Candace bought a card. And,
what do you mean a card?
Like a chip for the phone.
Oh, for the phone. Oh, so that you don't have to pay,
Right. So she paid about $20, so she has internet, and but when we're in the apartment, we have Wi-Fi. So I should say Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. Yeah. So that's fine, And if you're using Wi-Fi, then you're not using the phone system. So
Exactly.
that's good. And there's Wi-Fi almost everywhere, right?
There's sections of the city where they have free Wi-Fi.
What city? What city are you
in? But my
in?
apartment will have. We're in Porto,
Porto.
which is like the second city of Portugal.
Like where you get bottles of port.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Lisbon is the #1 town, right?
Yes. Have about
Porto is very hilly, isn't it?
it.
They grow the port on different hills. If you go to the wineries, anyhow, never mind. Sorry.
Is that a joke?
No, it's true.
Oh, it's true. Oh, okay.
It's true.
It is true.
I like the way the sun hits it, or the soil, or the drainage, or hell, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been out to a winery, but we'll try that.
Yeah.
When you come to California, I got some old bottles of port you can try.
Okay. Anyway, no, but we're thinking about Portugal for a vacation at least, and to think about moving there. But I, so far as driving is concerned, I don't know if I know how to drive anymore. So
Right.
It's probably good.
Because I used to love going to another country and renting a car and driving.
Yeah.
I was scared to do it in Paris because they're mad and they've got all these motorcycles that are coming out, juking out of nowhere. So I was happy.
Well, I drove in
Paris,
but only to get out of it. Yeah, no, really, I mean, it's not a joke. I mean, I didn't drive in Paris, but I drove to get out of Paris. And then we drove down, through Lyon and down into the southern part of France. And driving around there was wonderful. Sometimes I would go over to Switzerland and then go into Italy and then drop down into Italy from that direction. Not Italy, but France from that direction. So, but I love doing driving, and I love driving. And
I love driving here in Portugal, though. It's not that crowded. They're not that aggressive. So
yeah.
it's comfortable.
How old are you?
70?
70? Do you know that at your age, you can actually get all the rights to be a citizen there?
Yeah, I probably
Or so I've been
just want to
told.
get residency, and I hear it's not out of my range to have that capital that would be needed, and I
What kind
certainly
of
have the
capital do you need?
100,000,
Oh.
a couple 100,000. It's not that.
Oh, I'm fine.
It's not that onerous. Yeah,
I'm fine. Yeah.
and we'd like to, take advantage of the medical system here.
Yes, which they give you the right to use their medical system.
Right.
They welcome older people who have like a couple $100,000, and that's it.
Brian Neary.
A couple 100,000. It's not that. Oh, I'm fine. It's not that onerous. Yeah.
Here we go with Jeffrey.
Hi, Jeff. Take advantage of the medical system here.
Yes, which
they give
you the right to use their medical system.
Right.
Jeff, turn that off. You got it.
Not just
That was quick. He's learning.
Huh?
He's Kilroy.
Yeah, we can see his forehead.
Yeah, now we can just see your forehead. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And just move the camera. We don't want to just see the bottom of your face.
You want to see a little?
Well, we're only seeing the top of his face right now.
Yeah.
Bring glasses up.
Let's see your whole face. All you have to do is move the lid on the. Is that a portable? There. See?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Then
That
we
was
get
it.
a picture of your lovely
I
wife
don't know what you
too.
would do without Pam.
I don't know what's going on. My cell phone or my computer doesn't seem to get organized.
No, wait a minute. Now are you using a laptop?
Yeah. I always use
Yeah.
it.
Well, then what you do is you just simply move the lid to adjust where your face is in the picture.
Yes.
Just adjust
problem
just the lid of the whole laptop.
Screen.
You just move it.
What do you mean that? Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, I got that. But the weird thing is I can't see my face in there.
Well, ask Pam about that, but I can't help you.
Well,
That's your producer.
I gotta go get somebody to look at the computer because we haven't figured out how to do that.
What?
That I don't get my face on this stuff.
Yeah, we get it. That's all that's important.
I know that.
You may have hide self view on your Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, you might have. Do you see
You have to
the-
uncheck that.
Do you have the Zoom browser there?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
That can take an hour.
I'm sorry. Let's not.
yeah.
You're doing good right now, Jeff.
I don't want to spend the next hour doing
No,
this.
you don't want to do that. I'm sorry. Thank you for helping me.
Yes. Hello to Patrick. Patrick joined us last week too. Good to see you,
good.
Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Petty boy.
I would say it's fine.
You would say it's fine.
Yeah, we had some fun weather yesterday and
Oh,
today.
you guys got a tornado, didn't you?
4 of them.
Or was that near you?
Wow.
Well,
Was that near you guys?
That's not unusual for this time of year. I mean,
Yeah, but
no, not near me, near enough.
yeah, it's in the
I
state.
know some people that had some issues, so we just got some marble-side hail, and
Oh.
there was about it. So, and
Yeah. But otherwise, your weather's okay.
yeah, I'm
Good.
waiting for it to get to be nice, like 80 degrees would be nice.
Come on out here. We get 90 for 2 days, and then it drops down to 60, and then it goes back up to 95.
And it rains.
Goes down to it rains.
It rains.
It's doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
know,
been
I'm in
102
Connecticut.
2 days in a row here.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go help Ann.
I'd
You know,
take
I got a suggestion, a quick suggestion for Jeff. If you
What's
want to
that?
see your face, get a mirror.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
buddy. No, you're fine right
Yeah.
now.
So anyway, anything new in your life, Patrick, that we should know about? No.
not particularly. I'm still here, so
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's good. That's a good start.
You're
Are you
sti-
still driving trucks and stuff?
he doesn't drive trucks.
No, you're
No?
thinking of the guy in Canada.
Oh,
Trucker
okay.
You
Steve.
made that mistake a couple of weeks ago too. Yeah.
That's true.
I know. I know.
Welcome to your 60s, Jeff.
Guess what I'm going to be this?
80.
Yeah,
You're going to be 80?
I'm going to.
Are
Yeah.
you going to be 80? Really?
Yeah, you said that
By
a couple weeks
September.
ago.
You seem to be catching up to me.
You should stop.
I don't know how to accelerate on that one.
Yeah.
But
But
I do know how. But you got to stop doing these things.
yeah, I got to stop doing these things. Yeah. And Josh, hello to you.
How you doing?
Have any questions about Portugal?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. What's new in your life since yesterday, or day before yesterday?
Nothing new that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
So status quo for me since Wednesday.
Since Wednesday. Well, you know, I just want to make sure that your life is okay,
Yeah, going along.
going along. Frustrating?
No, nothing too major.
Yeah. Well, let me see here. Oh, what can we talk about that doesn't have to do with Donald
How's
Trump?
the weather over there, Alex? Because now that I signed with my house, my next thing is I want to get out to New York.
Really? Please do. You know.
You're starting the mucky season.
Yeah, is it really muggy?
No, it's not muggy. It's supposed to be muggy tomorrow, followed by Toogie, Wengy, Thurgy, and Friggy. It's one of the oldest jokes I know. But it gets muggy, of course, during the summer. But we have air conditioning here, so you can come to the house. You know,
I suggest going in September. Colors are real nice.
the colors are nice. Also, the white people are okay too.
Yeah, I guess.
September, October seems to be the best months to
Yeah.
visit for me.
Anybody been following the P. Diddy thing?
Do we have a choice?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think he's guilty.
You think?
Well, you know what here's what I don't get. Maybe somebody can tell me where I'm not getting this whole thing.
No, you can't tell Marjorie you want to do a freak out or whatever they call them.
Oh, well, I suggested that and I haven't gotten over the face burns. Anyway, no, the thing I don't get is they're charging him with what? They're charging him with
Racketeering,
racketeering.
abuse, is it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
There's only like three charges, right?
Sex with a minor.
No, that's not one of them.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Abuse, maybe.
Abuse? I don't think that's it. I just don't understand why they're interviewing this woman who he went with for what, 12 years or something? And then he supposedly
racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Okay. So how are they proving any of this by her testimony that he beat the crap out of her? You know?
Yeah, I don't
understand how why that has anything to do with the charges against him.
Either they're setting him up, you know.
It goes to the way he is, the type of person he is.
No. But that you can be the worst human being in the world, but if you haven't committed a crime, you haven't committed a crime.
And it's only the second witness as well, so they're just setting him up for the trafficking. Probably, I think they're really going after the trafficking and the transportation.
Well, I mean, you know, the trafficking part, is that the Mann Act they're trying to enforce?
The what?
The Mann Act. That's
it's kidnapping somebody and taking them across state.
No, it isn't kidnapping them. It's taking a woman across state lines for immoral purposes.
Yeah, for sex.
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to
that's
force
probably what
them.
it is. If it's you got sex trafficking and transportation to engage prostitution, that would be.
Nobody ever files the Mann Act anymore.
Oh, really? Well, what do you think? What do you think they're trying to do to Diddy?
Well, what Kevin said, but that's not the Mann Act.
That is the Mann Act.
Okay.
It is the Mann Act.
Racketeering probably is just a side thing of all that happening.
And racketeering, where do you prove the racketeering? How does this woman?
Well, if they've got witnesses there that are coming later after they set this all up, that what kind of a person he is, they'll bring in witnesses that got, pulled in by him or whatever, because, they did have that one guy, was he a prostitute or he was an escort, and he used to go, participate in these freak outs or freak offs, whatever they are. But I imagine that they're going to, bring in some more witnesses that are a little more close to what.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
Incredible.
I still don't understand how that, he can be a terrible person. That's not against the law. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out how they're trying to prove this by the kind of people they're bringing in to testify and the questions they're asking them.
Well, and they even have testimony that he was a very nice guy and he was married to her, and they show the soft side of him.
Were they married?
Things like that.
Were they married?
I think they were, yeah. Yeah.
Well, then, you really have to start asking the questions about, where are the crimes here? Okay, the crimes they're charging him with.
They're trying to prove
two
them. That's
witnesses.
what
It's
the court
early.
is for.
What?
They are trying to prove the crimes. That's why he's in court.
Yes,
Witnesses
but what they're trying to do is they're trying to convict him based on the fact that he's an asshole.
That's I don't know about that. I think the charges and then some will come.
I think it's illegal dumping of baby oil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Materials.
And you know what that does to ducks?
Exactly.
And then you have to get the dawn out, and
soft butts.
Yeah. No, I just don't get the whole thing and what it's about. I understand. I don't think he's a nice guy. But there's no law against not being a nice person.
No, or we would have charged Trump with that too. Oops, I brought up his name. Shit. Sorry.
Oh, it's going to be brought up eventually tonight. Why not bring it up now? So anyway, Trump did get back from. Is he back now? Guess he's back.
Yeah, I think so. He was on his way back yesterday.
Yeah.
Last night.
And what did he do while he was away?
He made a bunch of deals for his family.
Yeah.
He paid billions of dollars for his family.
Do you realize?
True.
What? What?
So I don't know if it was true, but they said Boeing signed a big contract with Qatar also.
With Qatar.
$200 trillion.
Yeah. So that was true, right, Kevin? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't no $200 trillion, but that's what he would say.
No, I don't think it was even that. I mean, Trump would like to say,
like, what, 400 million maybe?
Well, it's got to be more than that. I think they ordered like
Yeah, that's probably
220
the cost of one
planes.
plane.
Yeah.
Well, this plane there,
Luxury
the plane they're trying to give him, is a used plane.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
For him.
So, and is it a Boeing? Yes, it is.
Yes.
747.
Well, that might be the good luck for us.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't close up the plug on the side of
But
the.
they say by the time they strip that thing and put it back together to check that he's going to be out of being a president anyway, so they'll never even use it.
Why don't
Plus,
they
it'll
give him a
cost just as
newer
much as
plane
the-
like a 737 Max? The doors fly off midair and all that.
Well, because it isn't as big a plane as he wants.
That's true.
And I was upset last week when he said, "Have you seen the plane we have to land on in foreign countries? It's so horrible. It's so terrible." Isn't it? It just doesn't make us look good to land in Air Force One. We need this other thing. Which, oh God,
Put the two planes next to each other, you may not be able to tell the difference. They're both 747-800s. But Air Force One is, and the
well, to begin with, he said Air Force One is 40 years old. And I don't believe it's anywhere near 40 years old. Do you know, Josh? Do you have any idea how old the Air Force One is?
I believe that the bodies that are in service now were delivered during the first George Bush administration.
So that's not 40 years ago.
But that was the original frame and body. I mean, they've remodeled the two planes,
right?
A couple times since then with new interior and all that other kind of stuff.
New engines and new instrumentation.
Well, yeah, they get mechanical
Bring it up
stuff
to
all
date.
the time, but they've undergone a couple of. It's not like the same rug is in there that was in there when the first George Bush was driving around in it or what. I mean, it's it's been updated a couple times.
Yeah. I worked for
and it's due for replacement. So.
They say it's about 34 years old.
Yeah. So I worked on that airplane, and I worked on all of those little planes when they were first.
Wait a minute, little.
Yeah, Anyway, the difference between that airplane and the kind of things that the presidents run on now, it has enough fuel that they can go twice as long as anybody else. That's one thing. They also have missiles in there. And I suspect there's an atomic bomb in there too.
No, I don't think so. I think there are missiles. Supposedly they're definitely missiles. I think.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong? I'll talk to Josh on this one. Do you know if they have missiles at all?
I don't know that they have missiles because I don't know that they have a desire for a defense or an offensive type of capability. But I mean, I think that it's decently well understood that it has defensive style
very robust
concepts like just like you would find on fighter planes, for example, like radar jamming and
well, they have
infrared type deals and flares, decoys, that kind of thing. I don't know.
They also have an anti sonic kind of thing where you can send pulses to the plane and kill all its electronics, for instance. They are anti-pulse. They're pulse resistant.
Right.
Yeah, that they are. But
but they're. I don't really know that they have a desire to carry offensive style weapons that could, possibly have malfunctions and things like that. And those things require all kinds of maintenance and stuff like that. I mean, the plane's not foolproof. No plane is. I mean, the number one thing that I don't think they worry too much about, like SAMs and things like that. But I mean, they have always acknowledged that, the number one concern for the aircraft is like shoulder fired, air to ground, rocket propelled, you know, low tech type stuff, because there isn't really a defense for that. I mean, that's, when the first time that, President Bush visited Afghanistan, for example, I know that he went over by himself with only the Secret Service and the staff on the plane. And, when they left, the plane was purposely not very heavy. Fuel wise, they stopped somewhere shortly after for fuel so that they could do an extreme takeoff, like a combat style takeoff, so that they could take off at an extreme angle and gain altitude as quickly as possible because, shoulder fired missiles typically cannot hit a target even of that size above 8 to 10,000 feet. So, their idea is to get to 10,000 feet as fast as they can. Anything
also
over
in-flight
10,000
capable.
feet is usually going to be like a radar guided, like SAM or something like that, which they have defense for. And, in Afghanistan at the time, no one had that capability and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, that kind of stuff is a pure act of war because the only people who own that kind of stuff are, foreign countries. But terrorists can get a hold of RPG launchers and things like that. And if you hit the plane with one on takeoff, you obviously crash it and kill everybody. So, they have taken measures. They worried about that when President Clinton went to Bosnia that one time. So he didn't land on Air Force One. Air Force One landed somewhere like an hour away, and they told everybody it was for fuel. And why they refueled or acted like they were refueling, they took President Clinton off the bottom entrance where no one could see. The plane left, and after the plane left, they put him on like a Learjet or whatever with 4 or 5 Secret Service agents, and it zipped past Air Force One with nobody even knowing and landed like it was just a nothing. And then when Air Force One showed up, he was already there. I mean, because of the security risk. So, I mean, they've done things like that in the past, but
capable of in-flight fueling too, refueling.
the current one they have is, the plane that they're going to give them is not. And I heard that they were considering to save money, not putting in-flight refuel capability on the ones that they were ordering. And I don't know that I understand that. I mean,
if you can go light with fuel when you're trying to take off, and then refuel up in the air. That's an advantage.
They really don't ever use it.
No,
but it's made for a scenario where they need to use it.
Don't they have military jets that fly with Air Force One to protect it, help protect it?
Yes. If
they ask, not domestically.
Well, if they ask for them.
Well, they can do anything they want if they ask for it. But I mean, it's not common for it domestically. But I mean, sometimes in a foreign zone or whatever they might. But
well, when he was landing in Saudi Arabia, did the Saudi Arabian Air Force give him kind of some planes flew?
I mean, that's part of their, camel show that they put on. Or
he landed on a lavender. He landed on a lavender carpet.
Right. I mean, I suppose they do what they were doing whatever to make his dick hard for him or whatever. I guess, but I mean,
they did a lot of that.
I mean, what they have is fully capable of meeting the needs. There's no need for anything different. The ones that they have obviously need replaced. That's fine.
But that new plane
ordered, it's done. I still have issue with the fact that I think he wants to change the paint scheme, which I think is a disgrace, and I can't believe that American politicians cannot, stand up and say, you don't buy the plane. We're Congress. We buy the plane, and we're not changing it. The president doesn't buy the plane, the executive branch. The Congress passes the budget that buys the plane, so
you pay for it.
You're not getting a new plane unless it's the same color as the old plane. We've had that for 5-6 decades. It's not changing. That's like the flag. We're not doing that. So it's stupidity there.
He's trying to put his piss mark on everything.
Right. I mean,
that's all he's doing.
I'm surprised he doesn't want his picture on the flag.
He doesn't like the way it looks or
Wait
whatever.
till next week, Charlie.
What's wrong with the way
Well,
it looks?
we're getting a parade in Washington in a few weeks, celebrating.
That's another one that's horseshit.
Celebrating the
And
military.
he's trying to drag the Army into it, and I think that's bullshit because the Army, they're 250 years old, but you don't have to drag them into it to justify it.
But I don't think there was ever a planned parade for that. He just decided to hold it because it fell on his birthday.
Yeah, he's been wanting one of these since the first time around.
Since he saw Kim Jong-un do it.
Yeah, with his
Everybody
military.
would always, put him off because they didn't want to do it because it's a pain in the ass.
No, nobody will say anything.
It takes 6 months to plan, which is 6 months that a bunch of important people aren't planning for other shit. It's not like there's stuff not going on in the world. And then, as we've seen, it cost at least $50 million.
No, it's 90 million. I heard.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money for a couple hours worth of whatever. So
A lot of Doge
I heard
cuts.
McDonald's is going to supply the food.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, I don't really have a problem with certain celebrations, and certainly the 250 thing is a big deal. We're rolling up on 250 anniversaries of tons of stuff. The Declaration will be next year, and it's, a lot of places are doing their 250. Lexington and Concord, Fort Ticonderoga. Because some of their big things came the year before 1776, because the war started in 75, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have any problem with that, but I mean, I kind of have a problem with one that's going to cost $50 to $100 million, and I think anyone with common sense can understand that he wants to stand out there and have the camera point at him, not at the soldiers. It's not to honor them. Let's just be real about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certain. I mean, if you think that his motivation, honestly, is to honor the Army, then you're just misguided.
He's never done anything to even prove that he honors the Army in the first place.
Well, I mean,
suckers and losers. That's what he called them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't believe that his motivation at all is to honor. I mean, like if it really were for that, and if this were under some different president, I could kind of buy that argument. And both houses of the Congress got behind it, and they wanted to do it a national thing or whatever. I still honestly don't think that I would like that it was going to cost hundreds of dollars.
Well, especially when they're making cuts all over the government.
Well,
yeah,
right.
Why are you making all these cuts and then all of a sudden you're going to spend all this money on a damn parade? It's hypocritical.
Firing tens of thousands of people at the VA and you're having $100 million parade for the
Well,
Army.
what he's doing is he is cutting the balls off those parts of our government that would keep him in check.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it's all about. You agree with me, right, Richard? I mean, he's
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's just trying to, hey, let's take Department of Defense. We got to cut people back from there. We got to cut people back from the especially from the Attorney General, Department of that department. I mean, he's trying to gut everything that might possibly come after him. So
or people who came after him before.
Yeah. So who knows? Who cares? I mean,
I get offended by some of the comments that he makes about, like I said, things like Air Force One and changing the paint scheme because he thinks it's ugly and all that. I just don't. I can't. I have no tolerance for.
Well, I've seen what he's done with the Oval Office, and that's terrible.
Oh, remember Melania went and gutted the Rose Garden or Vegetable Garden Rose Garden that Jackie did. Yeah, so they don't care.
No, was that the one that Jackie did, or did no? But
no, it was the last term.
Michelle Obama had a vegetable garden.
Yeah, but I think the Rose Garden or something.
Rose Garden was Jackie. Yeah.
Was Jackie? Okay. Yeah, Jackie. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, she had the entire area redone in the early '60s, and then I believe in the first Trump administration, they tore out most of her design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, has anybody
Very
seen
disrespectful.
Melania lately?
I don't pay attention to her.
She was at the Pope's funeral.
Was she at the Pope's funeral?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was dressed in black, unlike
Trump, who was dressed in purple or something like
Blue
that.
suit. Blue suit. You know, I'm sure he has a black suit around, but why should he wear it, right? It's only the Pope.
Yeah.
Well, there were a bunch of people that were wearing blue colored suits at the funeral. It wasn't just Trump. So I kind of laughed when people were jumping on Trump for wearing blue, and I was looking at the crowd, and it wasn't just him. So,
well, I don't know who those
funerals are the way that they were traditionally, where everybody wore black. Because I'll tell you what, the last few funerals I've been to, nobody even wears fucking ties anymore.
No.
T-shirts, and it's not. And I don't think it mattered for the Pope either. I think that whole tradition is dead.
Okay, let me disagree with you. Okay, on just to this extent, that this is a special kind of thing, and when we're sending our head of state there, maybe we'd like him to have some respect for it.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but I'm just saying I didn't see just him.
Yes.
And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that if we're going to bitch about one person, we should take a look at the whole fucking picture. And, you know, I mean, I'm just kind of fair that way, that if we're going to pick on one idiot, you might as well pick out all the idiots, and it's not just us.
Well, but all I'm saying is that he's our president, he's representing us, and I think we maybe would like him to have a little style at situations like that, you know.
I don't disagree with that.
You know, I mean, I agree with you. People don't wear. I mean, God, I hear about people wearing jeans all the time to funerals. You know, and the sneakers that are so popular now.
It's not what, there's no tradition anymore. So, I mean,
yeah. Gee, you know, it used to be I always used to have a black suit sitting around just so I could go to a funeral.
Yep.
Or be buried.
Or a wedding, they're one and the same, right?
Huh?
Or a wedding, black suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sort of
Charlie, take notes.
Yes, Charlie, take notes.
Yeah.
I've taken notes. I've taken notes.
Yeah. By the way, Charlie, how you doing? Oh, you're
doing good.
Oh yeah, you're not at home tonight. Yeah.
No.
You must be doing okay.
Well, actually, I am, but
what?
Home is where the heart is.
Oh my God! Oh God! Oh no! No! Oh my God! Oh.
Is she right there? Just blink, Charlie, blink if you need help.
Yes.
You know, with all the white around,
if you're being held hostage, just blink, okay?
I think what it is with all the white in her place there, she must be a nun.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, very nice of you. I'm so happy for you, Charlie. I really am.
Thank you.
You know,
my grandfather. So I'd be going out with some girl, and he goes, "Oh, that girl, she's so nice. She's so sweet. Yeah, you should settle down." And then when we break up, he'll say, "Yeah, I didn't like her. Yeah, I'm glad you're not with her anymore."
Well,
that's love, right?
Penn Jillette, when I broke up with somebody, said, "Well, I didn't like her anyway."
Yeah.
And I said to him, "Well, wait a minute. I thought you liked her." And he said, "Well, no. Whenever people break up with people, you never say she was terrific.
Yeah.
You know, you always say, I never liked her anyway." So, you know, what have you. But I'm happy for you, Charlie. What's the T-shirt today?
Oh, it's just I have potential.
I have potential.
It's got potential energy.
Hey, look, these
What? What's that hand doing?
I say he's in love. No, we're looking for flat spots for the edges.
Sorry.
Oh, or looking for you can't find those flat spots. Yeah, you got to find the one with two flat sides. You know, why don't you just get a 500 maybe? And what happens? You can't use that table, right? And what do you do? I never finished a jigsaw puzzle in my life. Okay.
What? Wow.
No, I never did because I never cared enough about them. You know.
They have these memes where the person is putting the last one in, and the guy comes over and just throws it off. It's so funny. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's pretty funny.
My question is, what do you do when you finish it?
I stare at it for a couple of weeks.
You can
what?
decoupage them and frame them and everything.
How do you?
That is your artwork.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you decoupage? I mean, how do you get them so that you glue them together?
You get it's called Mod Podge.
You gotta turn them over
Spray
though. They could fall apart.
No, you spray the front and let it dry, and then you flip it over and back. It's pretty easy. Put a frame around it, put it on the wall. That's
and then I put it back in the box so I can do it again a couple of years later.
I think I just think we came up with a format for a show on YouTube.
Ooh, doing puzzles.
Doing jigsaw puzzles.
Okay.
Just having a camera that faces down at the table, right? And then you start doing it. People
they
can
do that with Legos too.
I bet you. I will send you a link tonight. I'm sure if you go on YouTube, there's some channel already.
There's a bunch of them between puzzles and Legos. I see.
I've only gotten as far as the people cleaning rugs. You know. How many have seen the rug cleaning channels? Have you seen them on YouTube? You know what I'm talking about then, right, Adrian? It's cool, right? What they do is they take a very filthy rug, and they then
and then they like put soap on it, and then they like do it with like a
they spray it and
they take all the water out. They put water back.
And there's nothing but mud coming out of that goddamn thing. Yeah.
There's one that I like actually. This guy, he's a gardener, and he goes by someplace, and it's like overgrown. The lawn's overgrown everywhere, and then he comes over, and he knocks on the door and says he does it for free. And then he gets the thing, so you can't even see the pathways. And then by the time he does, they show him fast speed, and oh my God, it looks so beautiful, really nice.
And he cleans the driveway.
Everything, really nice for free, yeah.
And then, of course, he makes a couple of about $4,000 off the money he gets off of YouTube. So that's why it's worth his time and his money. Yeah. But anyway, so, I mean, I think that I don't think he's ever going to take possession of that plane, at least for the presidency. But he is, I'm sure, going to keep the plane for after he's president. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. They're going to put it at the library. That's the only thing could be at the library.
Well, no. It's going to be given to the library, the Trump library.
Yeah.
Of which there isn't one yet, by the way. But for the library, but it doesn't mean he can't use it, right?
This is a step up. The present plane is a 757.
So what?
It's a 30-year-old 757. Boeing 757 is the plane that you see that says Trump on it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Well, that one. Does he even use that one anymore?
I don't know.
No. Thought that was a rental.
First presidency. So.
Thought that was a rental.
But the Trump plane probably is a rental. I would imagine. Probably was paid for by the election committee. Mm-hmm. So they could travel around in a big place saying Trump on it. A big plane saying Trump on it. So anyway, I can't think of anything else that's, it's big in the news, It was... Did you see him? He's in Saudi Arabia, and he's falling asleep. Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up. You know what they're starting to say now? That Trump has got some may have had a stroke.
Really?
They say that everything he's acting like kind of is stroke-like. You know, there may have been a stroke. What do you think? Our stroke expert here is Jeff. Jeff?
Yeah, I hear it. I don't know what he's doing. I can't say that.
I mean, you got to do something to excuse that behavior, right?
Everybody's getting older, falling apart.
I know plenty of people who've had strokes.
Yeah.
They don't look like assholes like the president.
Yeah, well, he was falling asleep when he was there, you know.
Well, that's a common thing.
It's like he doesn't care, you know. He's bored by anything.
Well, he always wakes. He's always there early on TV and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what I'm saying here. He actually looks like he gets bored very easily by stuff.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
they said that. If
he
it
likes
doesn't
what
have
he
his name
says.
on it,
What'd you say, Charlie?
if it's not about him, he's not interested.
That's it. It's what he says. That's the only thing that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, people listening to this who are Trump fans probably are just saying, "Hey,
He's terrific."
you're just haters," you know. So, you know, I just noticed nobody's using our chat tonight.
Was that you? Was that you, Brian? Brian Bravo TV?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
See, that was it. Nobody else is using it. I have no idea if anybody's listening to it or watching it or. Oh, there's some problems.
You took the day off yesterday and confused everybody.
Really, and with only 25 people watching, that's low.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Knicks game tonight?
Knicks game.
It's
That's
over.
over.
Yeah. It's a great game.
What, early tonight?
Yeah.
Right before you started.
It's on earlier. It was on earlier.
Well, maybe that's a reason why. I don't know.
Some people could be exhausted watching.
Yeah, that could be it. Oh, here we go. A bunch of people are starting to write. Hello, all. I am here, brother. Sorry, I'm around. Okay, thank you. That's a couple people doing it. I'm just not interesting anymore to them. Anyway, I took the night off last night. Yeah, well, I don't. Thursdays are a day I'm starting to think about, you know, as I'm getting older. Anyway, hey, listen, we ought to play the theme. There we go. And you guys can't hear it, can you? There we go.
there it
Now
is.
you can hear it. Okay. Anyway, hey, listen. We got Amy is next, by the way. Over this same station. She had a long show last night. You know, so I didn't even stay up late enough to post it because I wanted to get to sleep. Anyway, hey, listen, thank you so much, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Brian. How much work did you get done on that puzzle?
Almost all the edges are done.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Are you
That's the easy part.
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it, Adrian? Is it exciting?
Adrian?
No.
No. See, we're gonna go out and get some food.
Yeah, go out and get another game to play. How about Parcheesi? Anyway, thank you very much, Charlie, for being here. Richard, great to have you from Portugal. Please call us more. We love having you here. The lovely and attractive Alan has been here. Josh, thank you. Thank you to Kevin. Thank you to Patrick for joining us tonight.
pink or red right there. Like right next to
Yeah, and Jeff, thank you very much. Everybody, give
Thank
a
you.
big wave goodbye, and we'll give a big wave goodbye at you. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our panel for tonight. We'll see you again on Monday. We're going to be doing the pop-up show, and that will be on Facebook on Monday at 4 in the afternoon. In the meantime, stay tuned for Amy Manuel, as I said. We'll see you again next Wednesday. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, you know what to do. Tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody. See ya next week.